Attention. Go. Class is now in session. Education. Information. Informative to oneself. Young black boy. History. Past. Present.
Can't stop, ma. You ain't got time. Erase my mind, but still I shine, and it gets to me. When thinking about our history, they took away our books. Now everything seems like a mystery. We went from having gold to being sold. Now we fighting for the right to save our souls. Just remember, we're still mad ill. They kill Emmett Till. If we all stand together, we create Black Shield.
Education of 146,000 days. 400 years, mysterious tears, scars bound to stay. Culture stolen, reprimanded, names thrown away. Revolutionist movement came because this was bound to change. Change, shackled, obtained, pronounced slaves. Separation of families and crucified in the rain. Brainwashed to believe there was no hope to attain. Then we staged the war and the victory we have claimed. Black education, artillery, know your history. Because an ignorant soul is only a mystery. One hand, one soul, one stand, one goal. United as one army and divided if we fold. Black shields, new mission. Black shields, one vision. Black shields, reliving. Black shields, the times we living in. Cause it was MLK, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and the rest who all paved the way. Digest, materialize, education of our emancipation. Proclamation of our freedom in the sacred pages. Inform yourself of the movement and its many stages. Don't take this biased respect to all different races. Just educate self of all the many different phases. Black shields, black love, must improve our situation.
Can't stop, ma. You ain't got time. Erase my mind, but still I shine, and it gets to me. When thinking about our history, they took away our books. Now everything seems like a mystery. We went from having gold to being sold. Now we fighting for the right to save our souls. Just remember, we're still mad ill. They kill Emmett Till. If we all stand together, we create Black Shield. Can't stop, ma. You ain't got time. Erase my mind, but still I shine, and it gets to me. When thinking about our history, they took away our books. Now everything seems like a mystery. We went from having gold to being sold. Now we fighting for the right to save our souls. Just remember, we're still mad ill. They kill Emmett Till. If we all stand together, we create Black Shield. Cotton fields to the bill, saints in New Orleans. I'm here to tell you about a legacy that has been stolen. Actually, this is a message if they laugh at me. I spit something that shake their ass about an apathy. My elders told me age 7, get your education. You gotta take it, son, they ain't gonna give you reparations. I did that college shit and now I'm spitting knowledge on another continent. I'm blasting off like I'm a rocket ship. Fred Hampton, Huey P, remember Stephen Biko, Patrice Lumumba, and Kwame Nkrumah for the people. Nat Turner, David Hill, even Bobby Seale. I bet Malcolm X and Martin, they dreamed of Emmett Till. Revolution of self, elevate the mind state. Boost up the reading score, down with the crime rate. Clown with the nouns great, profound and it sound great. Marching all in unison
until we make the ground shake.
One love, one stance, one God, one aim. Reverse mental conditioning until we all become sane. Whenever you say something real, they always coming after you like Dracula. Still say unify the diaspora. Senegal to Detroit, Eskimos and the Haitians. Compton to Berlin, Hawaii to the Bayesians, to Europeans and Asians. Patient, staging a worldwide city. And listen, Black Shield, new mission.
Can't stop, man. Hey, top of the top of the happy Macamai Thursday. You know, we almost at that end of the week thing. Y'all know a lot of people, they know Thursday is my favorite day of the week. You know what I mean? It's the beginning of the end, you know, Timbit. But you tapped into the top of the top with King Phillip, you know, Timbit, where I'm talking about the issues that we see within our own community that I'm not supposed to talk about. And again, the minute I'm starting to, I start talking about them, folks have a problem with it. They want to start gassing Phillip. They want to start coming, ooh, I can't wait to give Phillip a piece of my mind. Save that energy, all right? Because what I'm saying is the goal is to change the internal so the external is a reflection of that change. You wanting to give Phillip a piece of my mind, you want to do this, that, and the third. It's not going to change how you feel inside. It's not going to, you know what I mean, just magically make you feel better, Timbit. Because at the end of the day, you still living the way you live and you still doing the bullshit that you're doing. We still as a culture are not progressing and growing like we should be, and that's the bottom line. I didn't have to go and do a whole lot of research to back up what I'm saying because I have a lived experience in the community that I stay in, that gives me the credibility to talk about these topics that I'm talking about. And a lot of the things is with these topics, it's a direct, I'm looking in the mirror when I'm talking about these topics, a lot of them, Timbit, and I'm changing the internal, So that's what we got to do. That's how we got to move in order to make a shift. All right. If you haven't, go ahead and check out the website, makeachessmove.org. You can't miss us. We're on all things social at Macam303. You know what I mean? Or you can go ahead and just type it in, facebook.com/Macam303. You can type in instagram.com/Macam303. Do that Twitter thing too, /Macam303. Pinterest.com/Macam303. And do that YouTube thing.com /Macam303. You can't miss us. All right. We also got a few of the homies too on the YouTube. I mean on the Instagram. Got businesses. They selling stuff. They got all kind of things moving and grooving. All right. So if you get a moment, go ahead and holler at Gems for Queens on the Instagram thing. You know what I mean? Bedazzle you on out. You know, Timbit? Go ahead, holler at my man B at the Endgame Association. He doing his thing too, touching in on the Black diaspora when it comes to chess and Timbit. And holla at the homegirl Body Love by Tal. She's doing big things right now. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to help us do and get our skin. You know what I mean? Everything that we need to get right. You intimate. That's one of the Body Love by Towels. You know what I mean? This is my shit right here. You know, Timbit. But yeah, what has brought me here this evening to rap with y'all for a few ticks? What has brought me here this evening to rap with y'all for a few ticks? It's crazy because I was just sitting up here thinking about generational curses. I was just sitting up here thinking about generational curses. And it's crazy because a lot of folks, they claim they want to change these generational curses, but they don't want to give up the habits that created. They don't want to give up these generational habits. That's what we're gonna call them. And again, when I'm talking about these topics, it's a direct reflection of myself. In that spirit, my mom, she was ahead. You know what I mean? And she ended up ODing in not 2000, in 1999. You know what I mean? When I was 15. She had a very, very, very addictive personality. So I know that shit is in me. And for those who don't know, the 7th of next month is gonna mark my 4-month weed free. You know, Timbit. No weed, no nothing. I'm sober as a motherfucking fresh out the womb baby type of thing if the mama wasn't on no bullshit. You know, Timbit. But I'm sober as shit. You know, I'm saying all that to say I'm sober as shit. All right. So I'm seeing things a whole lot clearer. I'm a whole lot of the stuff that I used to just excuse, show grace. Nowadays it don't get that same kind of grace. You know what I mean? That I used to give. You know, Timbit. But coming back to it, my mom, she was she had a very, very, very addictive personality. That shit rubbed off on me as well. So when I smoked, it was back to back. I was chain smoking blunts. In Timbit, I'm rolling up one, I'm smoking one. I got one in this ear, one in this ear. I got a full pack rolled up already. The thing is, I would sit down for 2 hours and just sit up and roll blunts for 2 hours just so I won't have to roll them. You know what I mean? So that was my habit. You know what I mean? That was my again, when it comes to addictive personalities, I can't just do something for a little bit and that be that. Nah, that's shit. I want to smoke and keep smoking and keep smoking and keep smoking, and that's exactly what I did. Intimate. So my mom, she OD'd in 1999 when I was 15. You know what I mean? From smoking that shit. My pops, flipping it around too. My pops, he died from alcoholism in 1992. A lot of people, they know my story. You know what I mean? So I know I got that shit in my blood. You know what I mean? That shit is running heavy in my veins. So I don't even touch the bottle whatsoever. I lied. All right. Because I got bottles. All right. I got bottles all day. But you'll notice all of them are sealed. You know what I mean? I don't even drink them. I like them because this is my man E40. You know what I mean? He got these joints, and I'm like, shit, why not? I fuck with E40. You know what I mean? I fuck with his hustle. I fuck with his grind. I see how he moved and groove. And I'm telling you, I got bottles that I never opened, that I don't plan on opening. You know, that's enough. But I'm saying all that to say, I know if I crack one, if I take a shot, we finish in a bottle. I hate the feeling of being drunk. I hate the mind frame of being drunk. I hate the day after of being drunk. That's never been my vibe. So I know that shit is in my blood because with alcoholism being in my blood, and then with me also having a very addictive personality. You know what I mean? I know I just can't do shit for the one time. You know what I mean? We're gonna turn all the way up. You know what I mean? We're gonna turn all the way up. You know what I mean? And there's nothing that's gonna stop me unless, I stop myself. So again, if we talking about generational curses, some of these curses were started behind the habits of our parents, behind the habits of our grandparents, behind those, these are generational habits. If we drinking and if we know that it came from my dad was an alcoholic, if we smoking and we know that stems from our moms being a smoker, you know what I mean? These are the same habits that plagued our culture, plagued our families for generations. And and let me tell you, I'll be the first to say it's damn near impossible. All right, unless your hustle is like that, unless you got the backing behind you, unless you came up already on some bread. But it's damn near impossible to break generational curses using the same generational habits that was used to develop these curses. All right, we can't get out of poverty if we can't stop abusing substances. And I'll be the first to say that, with me chain smoking blunts, I was abusing the fuck out of substances. I was abusing the fuck out of some weed. A lot of people, they say weed ain't no drug. A lot of those same people who say weed ain't no drug can't stop smoking while they pregnant. A lot of them say weed ain't no drug, can't stop smoking to get off probation or to get off parole. A lot of people who say weed ain't no drug, they got basehead tendencies. They got basehead tendencies. Like, y'all really mean to tell me y'all can't quit smoking? Y'all can't quit popping pills? Y'all can't quit doing the syrup and shit like that momentarily, just for a wee bit? Just for a little bit, just to get on your feet? Y'all can't stop that shit just for a little bit? And again, this is sober Phillip talking. This is sober Phillip talking. I ain't been on the social medias for a while. Probably been off for about a month or so change in Timbit. But I just be putting these thoughts in my head, and I gotta get them out sometimes, in Timbit, because they just like they're burning thoughts in Timbit. So a lot of folks, they have base head tendencies, and it's not a good look. Like, you can't quit smoking just for a little bit. It's hard for me to understand. You know what I mean? And this is from somebody who used to smoke, you know what I mean, like the trains do, who never thought that he'd be able to quit smoking. And the only other time I had quit smoking was because I was on papers. I was on probation. You know what I mean? I ain't want to go back to prison. And even before I had got locked up, when I was out on bond, I was still smoking, even though I knew that I couldn't. They allowed me to drop 11 hot UAs before they locked me right back up. So I ain't just saying these things to gas anybody out there, because this is a direct reflection of myself. This is me looking in the mirror and rapping with myself. You know what I mean? I had to get a few things understood, and I know a lot of us, they let these substances, y'all let these beverages get the best out of us, get the best of us. You know, Timbit, y'all let what the world says is cool to be a mover and shaker in your life, when that's not the move, that's not the vibe at all. It shouldn't be. All right, but again, we create these generational curses, and we can break them as well, but it's going to take something drastic for us to break these generational curses, and a lot of us aren't ready for drastic. A lot of us aren't ready to do what needs to be done. If our folks was always late on some bullshit, and if you always late on some bullshit, that's another generational curse. If you know me, I'm keen on punctuality. I'm keen on time. Time is something that we don't get back. 1 minute wasted is a 1 minute that we don't get back. 2 minutes wasted, 3 minutes wasted is 3 minutes we don't get back. People look at it like, well, it's just 2 minutes. It's just 3 minutes. Show a little grace. Show a little grace. The fuck is grace? Somebody help me out real fast. Before we go, yeah, somebody help me out real fast. What exactly does it mean to give grace? What exactly does it mean to give grace? Because I mean, while I was smoking, I was given a whole lot of grace. A whole lot of my time was disrespected, because that's what it come down to. You know, those who waste other people's time don't give a fuck about nobody outside of themselves. That's exactly what you're saying when you waste somebody's time. Time is not infinite. We have just the dash, you know what I mean? From the moment that we were born to the moment we die. That dash is the time that we get. Some folks, we get a long dash. You know what I mean? 80, 90, 100 years. You intimate. Some of that, was spent working, majority of it. Some of us get a very short dash, dying at an early age. Fuck, 18, 17, 16, 14. That's not a long time. You never got to experience no life, but at the same time, we only get that dash. And like I was saying, when you waste somebody's time, it's you saying you don't give a fuck about nobody but yourself. So again, I ask, what exactly does it mean to give grace if you're consistently building a reputation on being late? How much grace are you supposed to be given if it's consistent? Because it gets to the point when that shit is abuse. I'm gonna just put it like that. And this is, black folk, they like to run on CP time. I just heard that Mexicans got what they call Chicano time. It's just as worse as black folks. You know what I mean? It's just as worse as black folks. We lack the discipline to be on time. And some of the being on time, in this world nowadays, all we have to do is press a fucking button on our phone, click a link on our computer that'll get us into the meeting or get us into the space wherever that we need to be. That's where it'll have us at. So when you're late, when all you have to do is click a link, boom, shit, that's what it is. To prevent myself from being late, I always plan ahead, looking at my schedule, looking at the meetings that I have that morning, looking at my week that Sunday evening, so I can plan ahead. I know that if I have a meeting and if my meeting if my meeting may go over, I'm gonna make it I'm gonna say ahead of time, I have a hard stop at such amount of time just so I can make it to my next meeting on time. And on time is not showing up right when the meeting starts. On time is being early. You know, because I'm a sweater. I don't like going there and just start sweating and shit. You know what I mean? I want to give my body time to adjust. I want to give my thoughts time to get ready to do what it's gonna do. You know, I'm a sweater. When I get nervous, I start sweating. You know, I notice these things about myself. You know, so I make sure that I plan ahead. You know, my thing is also I don't try to do anything to the point where somebody is going to have to give me grace. I don't look for grace from nobody. I make my moves very meticulously. You know, I'm very thoughtful with how I move because I'm not expecting grace from anybody. And the thing is, I was just saying too, I forgot who I was rapping with. But these white folks who we work with, if I have a meeting scheduled with some white folks, they're gonna send a link out, they're gonna send a calendar invite, whatever it is, and they're gonna be there on time, ready to go. If I have a meeting with some niggas, that wasn't no black folks that did that. That was a nigga. If I have a meeting with some niggas, they're gonna expect a reminder text like, "Are we still meeting at this time?" Like, nigga, it's on my calendar. What are you sending a text message for? We plan to meet. I put it on my calendar. I'm gonna be there. Business. This is business. We talking business. Some of us have business. Some of us have great business value, great business morals, great business ethics, and some of us just live off the fact of, I don't know why. I can't make the assumption on why people develop the reputation of being late. I can't vibe. You know, I don't understand it. So it's not for me to understand. You know what I mean? I just know that I don't give too much of my time to folks in that envelope. If that's your envelope, shit, go ahead. That's all you. Go ahead, stay within that envelope. You know, I don't want no parts of it. I'm not gonna give too much of my time once I peep what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and keep on moving like I move. And sometimes it's not gonna include a lot of folks. And it's not my fault. I can't own anybody else's I can't own how anybody else rock. I can't own how anybody else vibe if it's against how I move, how you know what I mean, how things should be done. And that's my problem. I always operate on how things should be done when you know shit is fucked up. You know what I mean? I'm just put it as simple as that. Shit is fucked up. You know, Timby. But coming back to it, how will we change these generational curses? Because it's all generational curses. You didn't learn from being late just by yourself on your own. You've seen somebody do this close to you. You've seen somebody move like this consistently close to you. We were taught these fucked up behaviors. We were taught these fucked up tactics. We can also unlearn these things as well. We have to plan, we have to break these bad habits and start creating good habits so that we're not creating this reputation of being fucked up, because at the end of the day the shit is very selfish. I don't even know if folks realize that. I don't even realize if folks truly realize how fucked up it is to waste somebody's time. Folks running meetings late to start the meeting and you facilitating. That is the fastest way for me to like not fuck with somebody. I had somebody recently, we had our board retreat and I cater, you know what I mean? I pay I pay what these people ask for, and I pay very good. You know what I mean? Long story short, the woman, she came over an hour late on the time that she said that she was gonna be there. I gave her page, 5-star rating on her page. I gave her good comments and all that stuff. I've done business with her plenty of times, and for her to come and be late and run that shit like it ain't no problem, like that's the last little bit of coin she will ever get from me. Period. I had recommended her to some family that was going to do a family reunion. They were going to go through her. I said, you know what? Go ahead and reel that on back. You might not want to do that. You might not want to do that. We closing doors on our goddamn selves, and it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. I understand, and then folks they use the I'm a single parent excuse. I can jig it. I'm not saying y'all ain't. That's major kudos to y'all. You know, Timbit. This is business. This is business. Y'all are parents first. Yes, I can jig it. You know, Timbit. But this is business. So y'all can single parent your way all the way to fuck wherever the fuck you want to go to. But when it comes to business, Phillip likes to do business the right way. Phillip likes to get it done the right way. And a lot of the times when I do and set up meetings, I always ask people, what time works best for you? What time works best for you? So that way there is no excuse. Phillip will make it. I will make it my mission to make whatever time works best for you, and I will be there on time. No problem. No problem. I will do my thing too. You intimate. So when it comes down to breaking these generational curses, again, it's going to take something drastic. You know what I mean? For us to break these generational habits. And these generational habits, these generational curses can't be broken if we're using the same dumbass generational habits that was used to create these curses. We got to break the habits. How will you change these generational curses while using the same generational habits that was used to create them? That's hard. That's hard to do. You know what I mean? I couldn't do what I was doing, still doing what I was doing. Simple as that. I like right now what I'm doing, how I'm moving and grooving, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing with moving how I was moving and doing what I was doing before. I had to maximize my time. I had to maximize the time that I had within the time that I had. And the best way to maximize my time was to cut some of the shit out that was wasting my time. Spending 2 hours just to roll some blunts. You know what else I do in that 2 hours now? Whew, a whole lot. I do a whole lot more in that 2 hours now. Intimate. So it's drastic. It shocked my body. It shocked my thinking. But at the end of it, it all came out to the good. Intimate. So, I ain't got too much more to rap. You know what I mean? I just want to share a few little things. And and that be that. Intimate. We gotta figure out a way to change these in order for us to change these generational curses. Again, we gotta change these generational habits. We can't do it drunk as shit. We can't do it high as ever. You know what I mean? I did my last podcast that I ain't air on here. It was called Bury Your Living Dead. Bury Your Living Dead. You know what I mean? Homies who I grew up with, who, you know what I mean, who adds no value to me as an adult. Fuck that we was tapped in for 30 years. If that shit don't mean nothing right now. If I'm creating a pathway, like it's crazy, but one of the partners who I used to fuck with, I paid him over $2,800, all right, collectively, to do some painting, to do some art at the office. The nigga act like he ain't, like I ain't pay him no nothing. And I'm not gonna go back and forth. That's my thing right now. I'm not going back and forth. I'm not clearing up no stories. If somebody want to tell a one-sided story, if you want to believe it, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all mellow in that. You know, I ain't clearing nothing up. I ain't arguing over no money. I just, when it comes to perspective, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You get a whole lot of time back. You know, don't let people waste your time. You know what I mean? Let's start looking at these generational curses that we need to change. Let's start looking at these generational habits that we need to cut out. Those habits even are some of your quote unquote partners that ain't shit. And that's the truth of the matter. Some of those habits is excusing ain't shit partners. and that's the truth. You know what I mean? So that's all I got for y'all this evening. I ain't want to spend too much rapping with y'all. You know what I mean? Just a quick little 30. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. But check out our website. We're getting ready to put everything that we're gonna do for the summer or for the rest of the year on our calendar on our website, so you can tap into what we're doing. We're gonna do a few movie nights this summer. We're gonna host a few safe zones this summer. We just got this new office space right on 29th and Franklin. RIP to the homie DQ who had passed right on that corner. It's come full circle. You know what I mean? He was killed right on that corner. We got our office space right on that corner. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be a safe zone space for the youth. You know, we about to deck it out. It's gonna be dope. You know what I mean? We trying to think of the day that we're gonna have our grand opening for that space, but we also still got our space on 29th. I mean on 26th as well. So when it comes to growing, you don't close one spot down and open another. You just expand. And again, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now, thinking and moving the same way that I used to move, fucking and moving with the same folks who I used to fuck with. No love, no love lost, just not the same love given. You know what I mean? That's all it is. That's it. But if every Malcolm member was just like me, you know what I mean? What would this world be? That's it. Peace.